schools.
This broadcast on the JED TV Sports Network is brought to you by Central Midwest Carpenters. Build your next chapter. Domino's. Get the door. It's Domino's. Popa Heating and Cooling. Stay comfortable year-round. Powers Health. Everything we do, everything we believe. Strachan Van Til. Indiana made. Liuna. Feel the power. People's Bank, you first banking. And Westland & Bennett, goal-oriented legal solutions you can trust.
It's a beautiful Friday evening as we have reached week 3 of the high school football season. We are live high above the field in the Strack & Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strack & Van Til thing. Alongside my partner Isaiah Gransberry, my name is Tim Fedler. Isaiah, Hanover Central sits at 0-2 on the season for the first time in school history, but they have opened up with a very difficult schedule. Hanover lost to 5A Michigan City in week 1 and then fell to Class 4A's number 1 ranked Indianapolis Chatard a week ago. New head coach Tony Bartolomeo's offense has managed just 7 points total so far this season. We saw them move the ball a bit last week, but shot themselves in the foot with turnovers. Will tonight be the night Hanover Central gets their offense on track?
Great to be here, Tim. Thanks for having us. And to your point, Hanover Central has opened up with a very tough schedule. I mean, you talked about it, Chatard being one of the best football dynasties in Indiana over the last 10 years and probably even a little bit longer. And then Michigan City, a team that's always a semi-state threat here in Northwest Indiana in a wide open Class 5A. And so Hanover Central has gotten their test, but as we talked about last week on the broadcast, that is what they wanted. That is what Coach Tony Bartolomeo wanted. He wanted them to be challenged, and so they could put themselves in a position to win championships, starting with this NCC championship, and the road begins tonight.
And when Hanover came over to the NCC 2 years ago, it was really all about getting them ready for sectionals. You know, Hanover, which has been a team that's dominated the regular season last 3 or 4 years, only managed one sectional championship in that span, but they really looked to up their schedule, and they did that by joining the NCC, and now they've done it by playing tough opponents in weeks 1 and 2. Can tonight just be, now they're into the NCC, now it's conference play, is that going to be a little extra motivation for Hanover to get going?
Yeah, I think it will be. And Hanover, they historically have had success in the regular season. So with a new head coach, a not so typical start to their season, it'll be interesting to see how they respond, you know. But at the same time, this is an opportunity for Tony to see how what his team is made of. And so they're going to have a challenge tonight. I mean, Highland has some great players, including Slavin, who is going to be playing tonight. And so they're going to have their hands full, but I think it'll be a great battle to start this NCC season.
Hanover Central has been one of the best offenses in the region over the last couple seasons. See if they can get that going back on track tonight. Hanover Central has won the NCC both years they have been in it. Tonight, their first conference matchup as they look for a three-peat. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we will continue to get you all set for this NCC matchup only on the NCC Network.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Want to save more on your grocery shopping? Join the Strack & Van Til Rewards program. Earn points on every purchase and watch the savings add up. Get personalized offers based on items you buy most. Clip digital coupons for discounted or free products. Enter sweepstakes and more. Not a member? Sign up now. Membership is free. Scan the code on in-store signage. Download the Strack & Van Til app or visit strackandvantil.com. Life made simple. Savings made easy. It's a Strack & Van Til thing.
From the gasoline in your car to the jet fuel in the sky, the diesel moving freight, propane warming homes, asphalt paving roads, and petrochemicals for everyday products, we make it all. We're United Steelworkers Local 7-1, the Local 7-1 oil workers, proud to power Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and the Midwest. We're not just refinery workers, we're your neighbors. United Steelworkers Local 7-1, powering the region because we are the region.
Powers Health is committed to advancing medical care and technology in our area. Cancer research and clinical trials so you can explore new horizons. Heart care expertise with a collaborative team of specialists so you can create more memories together. Northwest Indiana's only certified comprehensive stroke center so you can cover new ground. When it comes to advanced care, look no further. Everything we do, everything we believe, Powers Health.
Back live from Highland High School, broadcasting from the Strack & Van Til broadcast booth. Alongside Isaiah Gransberry, I'm Tim Fedler. Highland sits at 1-1 on the season, falling to Griffith week 1 and defeating Whiting last week. Highland, with a young roster, at least at the skilled positions, are in Coach Gefford's second season. This is the time when programs tend to make a jump. The top half of the NCC has been dominated by Andrean, Hobart, and Lowell for decades, and more recently by Hanover Central. It has been tough, if not impossible, for any school not previously mentioned to be anywhere near the top of the NCC. Hanover Central is still trying to find themselves in 2025. So is this the year Highland approaching the national anthem? And it looks like we still got a little bit of time. So, Isaiah, you mentioned it, you alluded to it before the break, the quarterback situation here at Highland, as these two teams have only met 2 times in school history, and Hanover's only been a varsity program since 2014. But look, quarterback, we're not sure who it's going to be. Is it going to be Aaron McCormick? Is it going to be Jake Slavin? Slavin, of course, went down with injury in week 1, but you noticed some things during warm-ups that, may be giving that away. Yeah, and so we saw him warming up. We know he did not play last week, but I think he is going to have the green light to go tonight. And as we saw in their week 1 game against Griffith, he was an X factor. And so it'll be interesting to see how Coach Gefford incorporates him into their game plan today. And that's going to be the really tall story of the game. Right. And so aside from that, Highland starting off 1-1, obviously against a Griffith in their rivalry with Slavin going down early that forced them to struggle late in that game, and then Whiting getting a win over a Whiting team last week. So this is an opportunity for them to open up. This is an opportunity for them to open up with a fresh start to the NCC play as they look to redefine Highland football history. Second year for Coach Gefford here at Highland. We saw Munster. They're in their second year with Coach St. Louis over there, and they struggled last year. Now they're playing much better this year. And again, that's another team, Munster, along with Highland, who's trying to crack into the top of the NCC. Coach Geffert's had success in his coaching career, a lot of success when he was the head coach at Griffith before stepping away and now taking over this Highland program. And it's a young Highland team, a lot of players, skill positions back from a year ago, and they are still young. And, anymore it's all about the weight room and what you can do, in the trenches. And Coach Geffert is really spending a lot of time in that area trying to play catch up with the rest of the conference. But, year two, talk about that jump, for a coaching staff when you're coming in after your first full off season. You're finally, it's your program. You were the coach from the end of last season to this season. Talk about the jump that players and coaches can make going into year two.
Well, it all falls back on the support they have. And here at Highland, Coach Geffert has a lot of good support. Coach, Mr. Harrington, who I've had an opportunity to be a coach for,
right.
He is a great athletic director. They have some great facilities here. They're actually one of the few schools in Northwest Indiana with a turf practice field.
Right.
And so, they have the facilities at this school. And so it's just an opportunity to get these young guys accustomed to a new way of playing the game. And I think he's doing a solid job with that and helping them believe.
It will be the Hanover Central Wildcats taking on the Highland Trojans here in week 3. A beautiful night for high school football. It'll be about 67 degrees at kickoff. And both teams are lining up about to salute the flag for the playing of the national anthem. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have kickoff from Highland.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance.
We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance.
And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
But it's time. Listen, you gotta catch up. Yeah. I'll catch up with you. I'll be right back. I'll see you in a minute.
Anything else? Yeah.
Well, what's up, boy? Hey, Ryan. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Oh, yeah. You guys are right. Hey, come on. Let's go. Come in.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Back from Highland High School, high above the field, in the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strack and Van Til thing, and we are about to get going here as we open up NCC play. Teams across the conference, not all, but some teams across the conference are opening up Northwest Crossroads Conference play here tonight at Highland, and both teams taking the field. Hanover will receive the kickoff from Highland.
And this is another beautiful night of football. We've been spoiled the last couple of weeks to see just beautiful sunshine and blue skies with, it's a nice sunset. Like, this could be a picture framed on somebody's wall in a sports bar or something.
Yeah, a year ago, I think the first 3-4 weeks of the season, it was almost 90 degrees. We were sweating up here, exactly. I don't know if it was week 1 or week 2. We were here last year, and it was very sticky, so much better conditions it has been for football so far this year. Set the kickoff for Highland is Jacob Escobar. As he gets the whistle. Now we are underway here in week 3. Kick taken by Bonato. He makes his way to the 21-yard line, and we already have our first flag of the ball game.
Highland was flying down there. They did a great job staying in their lanes and converging on the football, and I think that's what forced Hanover Central to get what I believe is going to be a holding penalty.
So that will, if that's the case, that's going to be half the distance to the goal. Hanover Central is going to get pinned back.
Holding called on Hanover.
Somewhere around the 12-yard line or so. We'll see where they stop that, and that's exactly where it's going to be.
Wow, and so this is almost like a flashback of last week when we called Hanover's game. They started off moving the ball well. Actually, it was the second drive where they kind of shot themselves in the foot, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to adversity this week.
Resney operating in the shotgun formation. Bikema, the lone back. He shifts at the last minute like he tends to do. Bikema runs it off the right side and will fall forward for a small pickup. Looks like a gain of 3, so a little more than I initially gave him credit for. 2nd down and 7.
Great job by that Hanover line firing off the ball against Highland's 3 down front.
Big opportunity here for the Trojans. If they can come out with a quick 3 and out, they'll have the opportunity for pretty good field position around midfield. Bunch formation here near side. One receiver split at the top of your screen. Resney's going to roll out. He's going to keep it. Looks to cut back up the middle. Stutter stepping his way to the 15-yard line, but I think we're going to have another holding here, Isaiah.
Yes, I believe so. I think they're going to get that receiver right there holding. Highland has just been aggressive off the ball, which is putting Hanover in some pretty sticky situations early on.
So not the start the Wildcats were hoping for. I know it is going to be a face mask, so that is going to go Hanover Central's way. I beg your pardon, and
Face mask called on Highland.
That's going to march them out to the 21-yard line, and they'll bring up 2nd down and 2. Third down and 2, excuse me. 2nd. I beg your pardon.
Hanover taking their time here early on in this game, just getting a feel for what's going on, seeing what the Highland's going to show, and making sure that they get their best opportunity to score.
Resney looking into the slot, has the pass complete for a first down, brought in by Ben Basswell. So Hanover Central will move the sticks for an Indiana University Northwest first down.
Great job by Hanover right there. They had 3 receivers out to the wide side and got a good short route. I believe he ran a hitch right there and then just fell forward, and that's every coach's dream right there.
Bonato and Velisca at the bottom of your screen. Bikema working the right side, methodically trying to move the ball forward, and he has a nice pickup on first down of about 5.
That's what we saw a lot of last week.
Right.
Hanover, they did a great job just grinding away. And so if they could continue that, I mean, I think we'll have ourselves a pretty quick first quarter here.
Second down and 4. Resney sprinting out here near side. He's going to dump it off at the last minute and complete the pass along the sideline to Velisca. And that will be enough for another Wildcat first down.
Great patience by Resney. He did a good job just getting out of the pocket, staying comfortable, and making sure to keep Highland on their toes, whether he would be a threat to run or throw that short pass as he did.
Yeah, we saw that again last week where they like to get Resney outside the pocket. And it's give him the option. If it's there to tuck and run, he'll do so. Otherwise, he has the option to throw it downfield as he did there. Furco split at the top of your screen. We'll give up the middle to Bikema, and he'll fight forward for a minimal gain. Called one.
Solid push right there by the Highland D-line. Those are some big boys on that line right there. So if they can continue getting that type of push, they're going to force Hanover to have to get outside of the pocket.
Yeah, you typically see that, right? If you're not a very good pass blocking team, that's when you tend to roll out of the pocket. And but by doing that, you're cutting the field in half as well.
Yes, you are, and you're more prone to having your quarterback make rush decisions. And so that's why a lot of high school teams, they try to stick with quick passes inside the pocket and just to keep things going.
Resney airmails Velisca here on the near side, so it's going to set up a 3rd and long.
3rd and 9. For the Wildcats.
Which should be a must-pass situation for the Wildcats. Had single coverage there. If they could have completed that pass, looked like Velisca may have the opportunity for some room to run. He would just had one guy the beat in corner Mark Dale.
Yes, and that's the tricky part about a lot of those short throws, because one time maybe Hanover will try to hit him with a hitch and go.
Resney from the pocket looking downfield and had a man but overthrew Furco. Also had Velisca running free as well, just couldn't connect. So punt team will come on the field for Hanover Central.
That was Highland's first real test. Those DBs got their first real test at Hanover taking a shot over the top, and they passed.
So on the punt for Hanover Central. And that punt is going to the far side. Is it going to take a Hanover Central bounce? It will. So a pretty nice looking punt there by Aldo Desario. And the Trojans will start at their own 30-yard line.
And that's basically a step up from what Hanover did last week in their first drive. They drove down the field, particularly to that exact position, I believe, and then threw a pick. But this time they get out safe, they get a punt, and this is what you want to do. This is also a successful first drive in a lot of coaches' eyes, just getting the ball off and away, putting it in your own territory, so you force the offense to drive the length of the field.
And it's a good defensive stand there for Highland, and we know Hanover still trying to find themselves. So keep Hanover doubting themselves offensively for as long as possible. Now we'll see if Highland can come out, get a quick strike, and put the pressure on this Wildcat team. Highland looking deep, putting it up for grabs, has a receiver. It was Phillips. He was well covered.
Faking the jet sweep, rolling out to his left and trying to take a shot. First play of the game. I like it.
So Jake Slavin, questions about who would start this football game. Slavin gets to start, and, they have him air it out right away. Man in motion, fakes to him, instead gives it up the middle. I believe that's Garrison on a nice pickup of 11 yards.
That was a nice aggressive run right there. Way to keep his shoulders down and fall forward.
So Garrison, who was listed on the slot on the 2 deep, submitted by Coach Geffert, starts in the backfield. I expected to see Austin Tucker back there, but right now it looks like it's going to be Garrison getting the carries for the Trojans. Fake the jet sweep. It's going to be a keeper and nowhere to go, as Slavin is brought down after a gain of about 2. Lincoln Zerby amongst the other Wildcats in there on the tackle.
Almost looking to turn that corner, but he wasn't able to, and great job by Hanover just preventing that from happening. They lived for a second and pretty long.
Second and 8. Highland football from their own 43-yard line. Twins at the top of your screen. Looks like Garrison still in the backfield behind Slavin. It's going to be Garrison near side. Nifty footwork makes the guy miss, and it's going to fall down right at the first down marker. And if he got to the 49-yard line, that should be a Trojan first down, and it is.
Yes, and as you see in the replay right here, that was a great job by Garrison, keeping his balance and just following forward. I mean, that's the consistency across the Highland front right now. They're just falling forward and dictating where the ball is going to go. It's going to keep on moving forward, and he does a great job right there for the Indiana Northwest first down.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to fall down about the 45-yard line, but then had some nifty footwork, faked cutting in, and was able to get to the outside. So first down and 10, Slavin's going to put it in the air. Slavin being rushed and smartly throws it away after being chased by Landon Gonzalez.
That was a good aggressive push by the Hanover D-line right there. If they didn't get that type of push, I think he would have had Justin Slavin down the field running right up for a streak.
And you love the heads-up play there. He danced around a little bit, did Slavin. Once he realized there was nothing open, there was nowhere to run, throw the ball away, and live to fight another down. Man in motion gets the ball and gets spun down after a gain of about 1. That was Dale. I'm not sure if that was going to be a jet sweep because it looked like he got a little confused if he was supposed to go behind Slavin or in front. He did cut in front at the last minute. That's going to set up a third down and 9 and maybe 4 down territory. We'll see, how aggressive Coach Geffert wants to be may depend on what they pick up here.
Yeah, I think with the way the defense is playing, they probably want to pin Hanover deep in this situation. But as you mentioned, we'll see. But I would look for a medium pass right here, probably heading towards Justin Slavin.
They're going to get it out in the flat right away. The pass is complete, but not much there for his brother Justin Slavin. And it's going to set up a 3rd and 6, and looks like Geffert has made the decision right away. He wants to punt and force Hanover to play a long field.
And that's a great choice. I mean, your defense is playing solid to start. You know Hanover has historically, this season struggled to put drives together. So pin them back, give your defense some more momentum, and might even cause a turnover or a safety.
Nathan Phillips standing on about his 40-yard line to punt this one away for Highland. High snap, low kick, but it's going to take a Highland bounce with a flag on the field. The ball will be downed at the 21-yard line, but the laundry sits at the 29. Indication is hold against the Trojans.
Tough break right there for the Trojans, because that was the ideal territory you would want to punt the ball in, but looks like Hanover Central is going to get some more breathing room.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be very similar starting field position for the Wildcats as their first drive. They started their first drive at the 12-yard line. Looked like this one would be the 15, but that's exactly where it's going to be as the flag is being waved off.
The flag is being waved off.
So Hanover Central will start at the 15-yard line. That always frustrates coaches, doesn't it? When, well, you saw something to throw the flag and then to wave it off. That's always something where coaches maybe get a little upset about.
Yeah, and sometimes the referees, they have good positioning, but then it's just conversation, and that's why there's 6 of them out there. So they had the conversation and made the choice.
Well, you just want them to get it right and come together. If someone saw it differently, then good on them. Quick pass into the slot and brought down right away is Valiska, but there are a lot of flags, and I'm not probably going to get a face mask, possibly a horse collar on that, depending on where the hand was. As you take a look here, yeah, it's – what was the indication on that, Isaiah? Did they call face mask or horse collar?
They're calling a face mask. It was pretty close, and that play happened so quick. I think they are just going to go with face mask on it. And so, yeah, it gives Hanover an opportunity for a first down.
So tack on 15 yards for Hanover Central. First down and 10 on the 36-yard line. Resney gives it up to Bikema, and he is going to be swallowed up in the backfield.
They are not missing a beat from that first drive. Highland is doing a great job as that D-line gets another push, and they are coming for blood.
Was that number 55, Jace Harris, who just blew up the Hanover Central offensive line. They'll force a 2nd and 15. Trojans rush 4, and the pass goes in and out of the hands of Valiska.
Just like that, we got about 3rd and 15, and Highland fans are getting into it.
It's a really nice crowd on hand. The home side filled up pretty nicely, and Hanover Central, as they tend to do, has traveled very well. 3rd down and 14. Trips to the top of your screen. Valiska, the lone receiver, near side, being single covered. And we're going to have a whistle thrown by the back judge, which usually indicates delay of game, but there was 4 seconds to go. on the play clock, so we'll see what we're going to have here. Maybe an equipment issue. If he saw something right in front of him, maybe no mouthpiece.
I want to say that Highland had 12 players on the field, but there's no official call from the White Hat yet.
Well, we saw a guy run off, so we'll go with 12 guys on the field because if they get that at the snap, it's just a 5-yard penalty. So that would make sense. The back judge is counting the defense back there. So now it's going to be a third and a little more reasonable. 3rd and 9. Resney rolls right side, has to get his body around to throw at that left hand. Nowhere to go. He's going to be brought down. 2 Highland Trojans in there. I believe we got Josh Salas and Landon Gonzalez, I beg your pardon.
Wow, and history tells you, Highland, they are always fighting, and that's exactly what they're doing today. But Hanover, a team that's typically good in the run game, is also struggling. So I wonder if we're starting to see a story formulate here in this game early on.
Well, we talked a little bit about Coach Gefford, and, he has a big belief in the weight room, as all football coaches do, as this punch returnable from the 29-yard line and a short gain for Garrison. But, Hanover Central has been known for their offensive defensive lines the last few years and dominating people up front, which when they made the move into the NCC 2 years ago, I thought they were going to get pushed around, and that just was not the case. As they went in there and they were able to push around teams like Hobart and Lowell, that you would think that's never going to happen. But you see Highland really controlling the line of scrimmage and how physical they're playing up front.
Yes, they are, and they're doing a great job, and you could tell that they've been in the weight room. They've been working all summer for this moment. I mean, you mentioned it earlier, Hanover Central has at least won a share of the past 2 NCC championships, and so to have that opportunity to host those guys at your home field and opportunity to knock them off, the longer they hang in this one, the longer I like their odds.
Give is going to go to Tucker, and he's going to be spun down in the backfield for no gain. So the first time we see Austin Tucker on drive number 2 is going to look like he'll get the carries, and looks like Highland will be splitting running backs tonight. At least that's the indication here so far.
And that's going to be a key, too, to have depth, especially here in the NCC, a conference of historically medium-sized schools in the frame of Indiana football. It's pretty awesome to have some good depth.
Slavin under pressure, and he is going to be sacked. Zerby is in there, as well as the freshman number 50, Anthony Gill, the junior, is in there as well.
Both D-lines are just dominating early, and so there's nothing better than a defensive battle. I'm sure the defensive coordinators are licking their chops, and I'm sure the offensive coordinators are going to formulate game plans to get things figured out.
I think I called Anthony Gill Gonzalez earlier, looking at the wrong roster. I apologize for that. Anthony Gill's had an impact on this ball game so far. 3rd down and 14. Slavin with time, puts up a good ball, has single coverage, and just gets tipped away as his brother Justin had a hand on it, couldn't haul it in, so the Trojans will have to punt.
He had a hand, but I'm going to be a coach here. You got to get that second hand up. I think he definitely could have, and then that still would have been a highlight reel play, but great opportunity right there by Highland. They'll get another one, I'm sure.
So Phillips on the punt for Highland. Better snap here. Still a low line drive. And it's going to bounce over the head of Bonato. That's one that Bernardo wanted to field. It just took a bad hop at the last minute.
It is, and special teams, it's a teaching point right here. Most coaches, they tell their guys to keep their feet positioned on a certain yard marker and do not let the ball go over your head. You got to field it, whether you got to fair catch it or not. And I'm sure that's exactly what his coaches are going to tell him as soon as he goes to the sideline.
There was a flag on the field by the same official that dropped the flag last time there was a punt. This time he just picks it up and sticks it in his pocket, so I don't know if he's having a hard time keeping that tucked into his belt. And he's just making the adjustments. I think they're having a conversation on that right now.
I can say as an official myself, I wait for my winter weight to come around. So my flags over the weekend when I do some officiating, they'll float around there a little bit.
I've had that problem officiating football when you wear shorts, like for a lower level game, because you don't have the belt to tuck it into, so it tends to fall out. Give up the middle, goes nowhere as the Highland defensive front is all over that one.
And we are seeing a class action of field position right here. I mean, the Highland has just been pushing them further and further back as the clock continues to run here in the first quarter, and I really like this right now. This is a great defensive battle.
Hanover does not need to snap it, and they are not going to, as they are going to start walking to their sideline. And what a defensive battle it has been so far here in the first quarter, as we have reached the end of one quarter here from Highland High School. Hanover 0, Highland 0.
Graduating high school and starting college is a big milestone. New gadgets, new friends, and a whole new chapter in life. But before you head to campus, there's one important step you shouldn't skip: reviewing your insurance coverage. If you're living away from home, your parents' policy may only cover you partially, or not at all. With years of trusted service right here in Schererville, Mackey Insurance Group is committed to keeping you safe and informed, whether you're on the road or planning your next adventure. Call us at 219-440-2021 or visit MackeyINSgroup.com to learn more.
But it's time. Listen, you gotta catch up. Yeah. I'll catch up with you. I'll be right back. I'll see you in a minute.
Anything else? Yeah.
Well, what's up, boy? Hey, Ryan. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Oh, yeah. You guys are right. Hey, come on. Let's go. Come in.
One quarter in the books at Highland High School as we're back live in the Streck Van Til broadcast booth. And Isaiah, I don't know if this is going quite the way you expected, but it's been an exciting defensive battle in the first quarter.
It is not going quite the way I expected, but I will take it. A defensive battle, I will take it.
Give up the middle. I believe that's Bikema getting the carry, falling forward for a gain of about 5, so it's going to set up a 3rd down and 6. And what a big opportunity this is for Highland. If they can get a stop here, perhaps come out of this with their best starting field position in the first half.
I'm sure that the Highland coaches were really wanting like an extra minute or two in that quarter. And I really think Hanover Central got saved by the bell a little bit because Highland's momentum was rolling, so we'll see how things develop here to start the second.
Resney looking near side and throws the ball away, trying to get into the hands of Furco. There was a little contact there, but that wasn't catchable, so a good no call. And that's going to bring up 4th down, as the Trojans will get excellent field position here. And that contact looked to be maybe a little more egregious than I initially gave it credit for, but the official's right on top of it.
Yes, and so I'm assuming Highland's sending everybody, and
they do. And Hanover Central gets that punt away, but it goes through the hands. I think that was touched, so Slavin's going to have to fall on it, and he does, as Garrison, I believe, got a hand on that. So almost a disastrous
Highland will take over on
Yeah, he did. Almost a disastrous situation there for Highland. But either way, they will retain possession and have it first down at the 32-yard line.
Yes, and so both teams, I'm sure, special teams, in close games, it comes down to special teams. So both teams are going to have to clean it up a little bit on that side of things. And it's going to be a determinant factor in this game for sure.
So Slavin back and operating in the shotgun. Turns, gives it up the middle, and he absolutely nowhere to go. Once again, Anthony Gill all over the Highland running back, and I believe that's Garrison out there. So Highland goes back where it's second down and 14. Now both teams just really having a hard time blocking anybody on the offensive line, and you've seen that quite a bit where both running backs are just getting blown up in the backfield.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things. It's a heart thing. They say on the O-line it's just a lot of heart, and so it's going to be which team wants to show up with it. That'll put some offensive points on the board.
Slavin with nowhere to go, and he is going to be dropped by James Tarzan, the 6'2", 255-pound junior with the sack. And Highland has gone backwards on each of these first two plays to set up a 3rd and 21. And do you air it out here or just run the ball and bring the punt team on?
You definitely run the ball, take the safe route, get some a huddle on the sideline, maybe even call a timeout if you need to, just to get your offense squared away and make sure your defense just keeps their momentum up.
So they're just going to make a quick pass out here into the flat and see if they can break something. And Phillips is going to fall forward for a short gain. So Highland will have to punt. Hanover's defense answers Highland's defense. And that's the way this ball game has gone so far in what has been a pretty quick moving first half.
Yes, it has been. And Highland probably going to give up their worst field position here to start this game after this punt.
So Phillips to punt. The lefty gets a high one here and takes a nice Trojan bounce, and it'll be down at the 34-yard line. So that's where Hanover will take over. And we'll see which offense can get going first. You know, what do you do in these situations when you're just being, you know, it's a defensive battle, you really can't get your footing. You know, you come out with maybe a trick play now, or is it the opposite? You just go, you keep it real simple and just trust the fundamentals, run the football, do little things like that.
Yeah, I think you stick to the fundamentals and just keep on keeping your head down, just trying to get what you can get, and then use halftime as the opportunity to come up with a new scheme, maybe remind the players of a trick play they have in the bag or whatnot, but that's definitely a third, fourth quarter thing.
Bikema trying to find some room and is able to spin his way for a nice pickup, considering once again that was blown up in the backfield and he was just slippery enough to pick up about 3.
That's a good run to start, and we mention it all the time. 3 yards or more on a run play is golden in the offensive coordinator's mind.
Twin split near side. Bikema, he takes a step to the right. Resney's going to roll out, gets his body around and dumps this one off near side for an Indiana University Northwest first down pickup and a pass completed to Jacob Furco. And we've seen Hanover do that successfully at times where you can get Resney out of the pocket and those little short passes.
Yeah, and it works. And so let's see if Hanover sticks with it or if they try to take a shot of their own here soon.
First down and 10, Hanover Central. 8:04 to play here in the first half. Inside handoff to Bikema. He spins, fights, keeps the legs moving, and falls forward for a 7-yard gain. Nice hard run there for Isaiah Bikema.
That is a tough run right there, and Hanover doing what a lot of the NCC teams do historically, just try to grind it, and hope for a big one. So we'll see if Highland will toughen up to stop them from doing so.
Second down and 2. So we got an update for you. The Red Devils lead Griffith 14-0 at the start of the second quarter. Down the bike path over at the Boneyards. The ball pops out here. Resney's able to pick it up, and he is going to be brought down from behind. As that play was busted from the start, Resney tried to make something out of it. It ends up losing about 7 yards.
Well, first off, great heads up by Resney to pick up the snap on the read, but better job by Highland just reacting and staying disciplined to not let him cut that corner and taking him out in the backfield.
That was Justin Slavin wrapping Resney up for the big loss. So third down and 9. And a timeout coming here for Hanover Central. Their first timeout of the first half. 6:28 to play here in quarter number 2. Still no score from Highland.
This weekend, make Doc's Barbecue your home for wall-to-wall football action. Kick things off with Friday Night Lights on JEG TV. Roll into a full slate of college football Saturday, and wrap it up with every big play from NFL Sunday, all on the big screen at Doc's. Pair the games with Southern-style hickory smoked barbecue in a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. Stop by Doc's Smokehouse in Dyer, where football and flavor go hand in hand all weekend long.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Back here inside the Strack Van Til broadcast booth, it's third down and 9 for the Wildcats. After Resney was brought down in the backfield, and now we're going to have a flag and a false start, which is going to set Hanover back even more, make it third and 14.
And another just mental breakdown right there from Hanover. They come out of a timeout. You got to be prepared for the play. You know, there's really no excuse out of a timeout, and so I'm sure coach is disappointed on that one.
Yeah, false starts, delay games, anything coming out of a timeout, you know, is always a disaster, and something I'm sure will be addressed tomorrow during film. 4 wide for Hanover Central. Resney fires downfield, near side, has a man, and it's going to go incomplete. Furkel looked like he didn't extend his hands. It looked like maybe he had an opportunity, but just never got his hands up.
Yeah, he might have lost it in the lights and the new LED lights here at Highland High School, and so he potentially, you know, it's almost like looking into the sun. I'm looking at one right now. It's pretty bright, so maybe he just looked at the wrong thing for a second.
So fourth down and 14. And it's a nice high punt. Fair caught by Slavin at the 22-yard line.
Safe.
So Highland's offense back on the field, and
they are. And I know that they haven't had the start that they would imagine, but I really like their chances. If they could keep this game close with a Hanover team that historically just dominates everybody,
right?
If they could keep this game close, they are going to be in a good position. And that's exactly what Coach Getford is telling his players on the sideline. He's watching film and getting them coached up, and I like his odds. I like Highland High School's odds to win this game, or at least put themselves in position if they can keep on playing as good as they are on defense.
Slavin fakes the jet sweep, and now he's going to dance around and just fall forward for a short gain, maybe about a yard. We'll bring up 2nd and 9.
But you're right. This game is going by pretty quick. I mean, we're on the pace right now to be done with halftime by 8 o'clock, and that's kind of unheard of.
At this pace, we might be able to catch the 4th quarter of the Lowell Griffith game if we want to head down there.
Right.
Catch it in person. 2nd and 8. Slavin dumps this one off. Completed to Nathan Phillips for a gain of about 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and short. Looks like 3rd and maybe a long 2.
Nice and manageable. I wonder what they're going to choose to do on this play. They really have had a lot of success with the short passes, with the hitches.
Like that little hitch route
that
they just ran. We've seen them complete that a couple times today.
So we'll see what they choose to do on this 3rd down.
They're going to run it. Spinning. I believe that's Garrison that is brought down in the backfield for no gain. And now Highland is going to punt. You know, you run the ball like that, you haven't had much success. You know, you wonder if maybe you're setting up to go for it on 4th down, but that would be risky where the ball is in a scoreless game. Interesting play call there. But again, you know, if the offensive line gets a push and blocks, you know, you should be able to pick up 2 yards, right, on a 3rd down.
Yeah, and so I'm sure that's what Coach Jimmy McCormick, their offensive coordinator, is saying right there on the sideline. But nevertheless, you got to punt it away and just give your defense another opportunity to shine as they have been all game long.
Phillips has gotten these rolls the entire game. The punts haven't always been the prettiest, but he's gotten a good bounce on the back end. And Hanover has started pretty much right there the entire ball game, about the 28-yard line, as the Red Devils are now up 21-0 on Griffith as they play in quarter number 2. Just about a mile away here. If you squint hard enough, might be able to see the lights of the football field.
Honestly, it's pretty close. I always forget about the bike path. It's they got a pretty tight-knit rivalry between Griffith and Highland.
Give up the middle here to Bikema, and I tell you, that kid's a fighter, and even amongst, 10 players or so in the pile, he spins, he's kicking his legs, he does whatever he can, fighting for every yard.
Yeah, and flashback to last week, I mean, he was fighting when they were down big. Chittard still had their starters in well into the 3rd quarter, and he was still fighting and gaining yards against them. So this is a young man who will definitely be up for all area honors if he keeps it up.
Bikema again, spinning, fighting for another hard-fought yard or 2. And, you only saw Bikema a few times last year, really in blowouts, which I guess could have been more than a few times. But, of course, he ran behind, the great Caden Verrett, all-area player. I believe he was an all-state player as well. And that's what Hanover Central's trying to do. They've lost a lot of skill players, a lot from their offense and defensive line. So they're still trying to find themselves here early in the season. Bikema spinning again. And this time it's for Indiana University Northwest, first down. And this might be what we see Hanover Central do on this drive, is just a heavy dose of Isaiah Bikema.
And to your point about Caden Verrett, I mean, obviously we can't go this early in the season without mentioning his name. I mean,
Right.
He's playing at UIndy right now, and great running back. But the difference between him and Bikema is Caden Verrett, he was a little taller, and he had a lot of opportunities to just bulldoze people over, where Bikema is using his agility, as we just saw with the last spin. And so it'll be interesting. Obviously, it's an adjustment for both the O-line and Bikema to get used to each other, but I'm sure as the season progresses, the run game's still going to be there for Hanover Central.
Quick pass completed there, but Benada for a 5-yard gain. Hanover Central back on the ball. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Resney rolling out. The lefty fires to the sideline, and it's a drop. And it would have been another Indiana University Northwest first down, but the pass goes in and out of the hands of Andrzejewicz.
And they tried to do the hurry up at that moment with less than 2 minutes left in this half. Obviously, that didn't work well, but if they get another completion right here, I wouldn't be surprised if they went for it on 4th down with a quick one.
3rd down and 5. Resney over the middle. Can't connect with Jacob Furco. And if he could have got that ball out a little more, Furco may be heading in the end zone right now.
I don't know. I think that ball might have been perfectly placed for Furco to catch it. And so he dove, but I don't think, maybe if he fully extended his arms, potentially could have gotten it. But, you know, to each his own. And so Hanover Central will punt it away.
So with 1:21 to go, Highland with 3 timeouts left. They're going to get the football back. Not sure how aggressive they're going to decide to be here. Nice looking punt. And it's going to be fielded at the 10 by Slavin. And he's going to take it out to about the 18. So a smart decision there, as that one may have rolled dead inside the 5-yard line.
I respect the decision to try to make something happen on special teams. And with 1:10 left, I would imagine Highland will pull out the video game mode and go hurry up offense, 4 verts, and we might see a double pass or so. Like, this would be a good time to run a trick play. You know, get a nice double pass or something. So we'll see what they choose to do.
Sometimes in these situations, you see coaches maybe like run the ball, and if they get a big gain, then that tells them, hey, let's go for it. And if they don't, maybe they'll run the clock out. Highland has had almost no success running the football so far in the first half. So we'll see what Coach Geffert decides to do here, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper for Slavin. And he's going to dance around for just a gain of 1. Clock ticks under a minute.
And there's really no sense of urgency on the Highland sideline, so it looks like they're just going to take it. I'm surprised that they would run with Slavin there, knowing that he's been battling a couple injuries, but he gets down, he stays safe, and looks like they're going to run one more play and we'll be at halftime.
Both coaches seemingly content. You wonder if Hanover gets a quick stop here, if they call a timeout. That wouldn't give them much room to play with. Give up the middle. It's a Garrison going nowhere. He's going to lose a couple. Hanover not going to take a timeout. Highland, I doubt, will run another play, as they do not have to. And that's going to take us to the end of a very interesting first half here from Highland High School, as we are scoreless as we have reached the end of half number one. Hanover Central 0, the Highland Trojans 0. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to break down half number one and talk about what each of these teams needs to do to try to get on the board and get out of here with a Week 3 victory.
This is your home for high school sports, the JED TV Sports Network. With the NCC Network, PCC Network, and 19 high schools across the region, we bring you more local games than anyone, live and on demand. From rivalry matchups to playoff runs, watch your school, your town, your team on the JED TV app, available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple, Android, or JEDTV.com. JED TV Sports Network, 19 schools, 2 conferences, 1 place to watch it all.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
No one ever called it the great indoors. Get out and join us. Our hands are the tools. The outdoors is our office. And our climate control is the climate. We are the Laborers International Union of North America, the best paid, best trained construction professionals in the state. We build Indiana, and we're ready for you to come build it with us.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Want to save more on your grocery shopping? Join the Strack and Van Til Rewards program. Earn points on every purchase and watch the savings add up. Get personalized offers based on items you buy most. Clip digital coupons for discounted or free products. Enter sweepstakes and more. Not a member? Sign up now. Membership is free. Scan the code on in-store signage. Download the Strack and Van Til app or visit strackandvantil.com. Life made simple. Savings made easy. It's a Strack and Van Til thing.
From the gasoline in your car to the jet fuel in the sky, the diesel moving freight, propane warming homes, asphalt paving roads, and petrochemicals for everyday products, we make it all. We're United Steelworkers Local 7-1, the Local 7-1 oil workers, proud to power Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and the Midwest. We're not just refinery workers, we're your neighbors. United Steelworkers Local 7-1, powering the region because we are the region.
Powers Health is committed to advancing medical care and technology in our area. Cancer research and clinical trials so you can explore new horizons. Heart care expertise with a collaborative team of specialists so you can create more memories together. Northwest Indiana's only certified comprehensive stroke center so you can cover new ground. When it comes to advanced care, look no further. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
Our hero, Lantern Man, faces off against a nefarious insurance swindler.
I'll trick them into a contract and just keep raising the rates.
Luckily, they can make a call to Crow Company's Lantern Man. He's always ready to protect families from the insurance swindler.
I can easily defeat your overpriced policies. Fair prices always prevail when you call me, the Crow Company's Lantern Man. Crow Company's insurance professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
This weekend, make Doc's Barbecue your home for wall-to-wall football action. Kick things off with Friday Night Lights on JED TV. Roll into a full slate of college football Saturday, and wrap it up with every big play from NFL Sunday, all on the big screen at Doc's. Pair the games with Southern-style hickory smoked barbecue in a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. Stop by Doc's Smokehouse in Dyer, where football and flavor go hand in hand all weekend long.
At Domino's, you can pick 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Let's see how that compares to some other options that are about $6.99. $6.99? $6.99. $6.99? $6.99. Yeah. Order any 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Only at Domino's.
Hometown Jams presents Gabby Barrett live under the lights of the Northwest Health Amphitheater in Valparaiso on Friday, September 12th. With chart-topping hits like I Hope, Pick Me Up, and Footprints on the Moon, Gabby brings her powerhouse vocals and heartfelt lyrics to the hearts of Northwest Indiana. Tickets are available now at hometownjams.com. Use promo code HJSPONSOR for 10% off. Gabby Barrett, September 12th, Valpo. One voice, one night. Don't miss it.
Opportunities are everywhere, even right around the corner. That's where you'll find Horizon Bank, going beyond to make a difference in our community. Whether you're starting a business or a family, expanding your kitchen or your customer base, drop by and see us for friendly service, local expertise, and solid financial advice. Horizon Bank, beyond ordinary banking. Learn more at horizonbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We are at the half, high above the field in the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strack and Van Til thing. We are at Highland High School in week 3 of the high school football season. And we are scoreless between the Highland Trojans and the Hanover Central Wildcats. Neither team able to get anything going offensively in the first half. And, it's really probably more stunning at this point for Hanover Central if you look at it when, I talked about they've just been a dominant offensive team the last 3 years, 4 years, putting up 40 points a game, easy, whatever it may be. And so far this year, they've only been able to manage just 7 points that they actually got last week against Indianapolis Chittard in a very nice drive that they put together at the end of half number 1 in that one. And you look at Highland, this is a team that has struggled in the NCC, has not competed against Hanover Central the last 2 years. They are still in the early stages of building a program where Hanover's in a little bit of a rebuilding year. So both coaches are probably looking at this Isaiah Gransberry a little differently, where Coach Gefford's probably got his guys pumped up because this could signify a turning point in their program. Hanover Central maybe just kind of look at themselves saying, what do we got to do to move this football and to get the ball in the end zone?
Yes, and, Hanover, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they're a newer program. And they might have taken a stride a lot bigger than most would have expected, but they also were in the same position as Highland, a program that was struggling early on, trying to find their identity, and then they got that big win. I believe it was over Wheeler, and they beat a solid Wheeler team, and that just changed the whole narrative behind Hanover Central. And so, you flip that script a little bit. Highland, a team that's historically just had to struggle. They've had to compete with the Griffiths, the Indrans, the Hobarts, the Lowells, and even the Hanover Centrals in recent years, and they're looking for that signature win. Well, today could be that win for them. And so, as you mentioned, Coach Gefford, he definitely has these guys fired up. I think they are going to come out here and play hard. The defense is playing great, and really they just need to put 1 or 2 offensive drives together, and they're going to be in good shape. Whereas Hanover Central, obviously they shouldn't be terribly worried. Defense is obviously playing well. Offense is moving the ball, but they're going to have to definitely put a complete drive together, or that could really tell the story about the rest of their season.
Highland will have the football to start half number 2, and we saw them work a little successfully, on the quick passes, getting the ball out to the hitch, and had a couple opportunities that looked like downfield that they just weren't able to connect on. The running game has been a struggle for Highland in the first half. You come out in the second half, do you just grind away, run the football just because you feel like you need to, or maybe you scrap it all together and just find other ways, maybe short passes and use that as an extension of your run game?
Yeah, and the short passes have worked for really both teams, honestly. And so I'm sure they'll go back to that. You alluded to it later in the second quarter that trick plays are not out of the book. We've seen a lot of 7-0 games, especially here in the region early on in the season. Obviously, we historically have higher scoring games as teams try to find their identities, but mid-season, which both of these defenses are looking pretty good in mid-season form, you find those lower scoring games. And so there's nothing wrong with that. It's all about finding a way to win. And for both teams, this will be a great test for them to carry on later in the season, win or loss, and we'll see how they respond.
Anytime you have a 0-0 game, it's a little surprising at any level nowadays with the emphasis on offense. So a little bit surprising here, no score. You expect one team to get something going offensively. But yeah, you talk about the trick plays as a possibility. How about being more aggressive? We haven't seen it, which is old school football of going forward on fourth down. We've seen these coaches somewhat near midfield, and they're punting. They're playing the field position game. The longer this game goes 0-0, do you continue to play that field position game, or do you think one of these coaches is going to get the itch and be like, nah, we got to force the issue and maybe go for it on fourth down?
I could definitely see both of these coaches being a bit aggressive. Bartolomeo being at Lake Central in a tough dueling time. It's not like he's had bad teams. He just went up against some really good teams, some good programs, some good players. And same with Gefford. He's obviously been there around the block a couple times. And so both of these guys know how it is. Their teams are prepared. They have fake punts in hand. They have multiple trick plays in hand that they're going to pull out of their pocket. Obviously, the tricky part about it is nowadays – everybody gets film. So do you want to put it on film? Do you want to trust your offense to just do the standard and just score, in between the lines? Or do you go outside of the norm and try to make something happen?
We are at the half here at Highland. Hanover Central 0, Highland 0. We'll see what team can crack through in the second half and get on the board first. One score may be all it takes to pull out an NCC victory here tonight. No score here from Highland.
Build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Want to save more on your grocery shopping? Join the Strack and Van Til Rewards program. Earn points on every purchase and watch the savings add up. Get personalized offers based on items you buy most. Clip digital coupons for discounted or free products. Enter sweepstakes and more. Not a member? Sign up now. Membership is free. Scan the code on in-store signage. Download the Strack and Van Til app or visit strackandvantil.com. Life made simple. Savings made easy. It's a Strack and Van Til thing.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
From the gasoline in your car to the jet fuel in the sky, the diesel moving freight, propane warming homes, asphalt paving roads, and petrochemicals for everyday products, we make it all. We're United Steelworkers Local 71, the Local 71 Oil Workers, proud to power Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and the Midwest. We're not just refinery workers, we're your neighbors. United Steelworkers Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
Hello again, everybody. This is Matt Maloney of the Matt Maloney Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams of Northwest Indiana. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to market your listing to the best and widest possible audience. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit mattmaloneyrealtor.com and let's get started. It's not baloney. I'm Matt Maloney.
Get ready, Region. It's time to Wing and Roll 2025. Friday, September 5th at Bulldog Park in Crown Point. Mental Health America of Northwest Indiana brings you the biggest, boldest fundraiser of the year. Taste wings from the region's best chefs. Jam to live music from Backstory NWI. Play games, win prizes, and cast your vote for the best wings in Northwest Indiana. And this year, we're going back to the 80s. So throw on your leg warmers and get ready to party. Tickets sold out last year, so don't wait. Grab yours today and join us for Wing.
As days go by, the most important people in your life are here, now and always, to watch you grow, support you through the ups and downs, and to reach your goals. Trust People's Bank to be one of those relationships, guiding you through life's special moments, each event with their own financial need and desire. As you move forward, we remain by your side, a reliable partner in days gone by and in the future. People's Bank, better banking.
Powers Health is committed to advancing medical care and technology in our area, cancer research and clinical trials so you can explore new horizons, heart care expertise with a collaborative team of specialists so you can create more memories together, Northwest Indiana's only certified comprehensive stroke center so you can cover new ground. When it comes to advanced care, look no further. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
Back live on Jet TV Sports Network from Highland High School as we come to you high above the field in the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strack and Van Til thing. No score in half number one here between Highland and Hanover Central as Hanover Central takes the field, going through their warm-ups, getting us ready for half number 2. Highland will start with the football, and it's been no turnovers, Isaiah Gransberry, in the first half. All punts, and the only possession that didn't end in a punt was Highland ran out of time and, decided just to take that ball into the half. So how do we get something differently here in the second half? Who's going to break through first?
Yeah, and both teams. And I don't necessarily think it was just bad offensive play. I think it was more so the defenses were amped up. And it's starting with the deep line fronts on both sides. Hanover Central got a good push to start the game, and they just kept on going, and then Highland doing much of the same. Both teams are really only having success with the short passes, the hitches, the bubble screens, and not much of running up the middle. Of course, Hanover Central going to their running back, Isaiah Bukma, and he's doing a good job and doing what he can do, getting up the middle. We'll see short runs and medium-sized runs of 5 and 10 yards here and there. But outside of that, both teams have struggled. So it'll be interesting to see the adjustments. Both coaches have definitely been in this predicament before, close games. And we talked about it right before break. Both teams, I mean, you really, the longer this game goes on, nobody wants it to end in a tie. So it'll be interesting who throws the first wild card out there, per se.
Both these quarterbacks are very athletic. They both showing the ability to roll outside the pocket. Resney gets out of the pocket a lot of times, and he has the option to tuck and run or throw the ball downfield. He's had success on some short passes. And you talk about Jake Slavin. He's had some where they just flat out have called his number to run the ball. And he dances around in the backfield a little bit and always seems to find a way for the most part to pick up a couple yards. But you like to see a little more of that run-pass option for Slave and get him outside the pocket as well. Haven't really seen him turn the corner, get to the sideline. But again, Highland has had success running those short hitches. And maybe that's just something they need to stick with. If you can't run the football, grind it out with short passes down the field and do it that way. We've seen both teams attempt a couple deep balls today and just haven't been able to connect. And it just might come down to who can execute that big pass, that big play, and maybe that's going to be what it takes to get them going.
Yeah, and the deep balls, that's a good point too. It hasn't really been like the quarterbacks, they've actually hit the receivers on target. I think it's just effort thing, and that's another thing both coaches are telling their players right now. Hey, it's going to come down to effort. When you're even with somebody, it's just about who wants it more. And so we'll see who wants it more. Obviously, Highland, we talked about it before break as well. This could be a signature win for the program. I mean, they haven't had a win like this in a long time over a team that's won multiple NCC championships, definitely dominated most of the region in recent years. And so they have a lot to show the world, per se, where Hanover, they just need to get back on track. So it's going to be, it was even in the first half, but as I mentioned right after half horn went off, it's going to really be the first team who scores. I think I would take their side.
About a mile to the south of us, the Lowell Red Devils in the Jed TV Sports Network Game of the Week. We had the great pregame show out there today. Coach McKim, Coach Mason, both joined our pregame show, and we really appreciate them for that. As Lowell leads that one 35-7 as they play in the second quarter. And we were talking about that game a little bit, Isaiah, off air, pregame here, what we thought. And does that score surprise you at all?
It doesn't. A lot of people remember the Mason days at Indran, and I say that respectfully, obviously, but Mason at Indran, he just had teams that just dominated. He had a lot of success there, of course, before taking his coaching talents over to Griffith. And so a lot of people remember that, including McKim, who Indran faced New Prairie. And Indran was actually 4A about 10 years ago, and they were in that predicament playing 4A teams and whatnot. And so everybody knows that. And so I'm not really surprised about Lowell going up big in that game.
Andran leads Kankakee Valley 17-0 8 at the half. And the way Kankakee Valley has come out the first couple weeks, that score might be a little surprising, but can never be surprised about a Kirk Kennedy team playing hard, as this one is going to be sent into the end zone as Mark Dale lets it go by. So the Highland Trojans will get the first shot here in the second half from the 20-yard line. And we'll see what kind of adjustments Coach Geffert comes out with here in the third quarter.
It'll be interesting. Definitely going to stay a game of field position, so see how it goes.
We don't have many games like this, Isaiah, but I was on the call last year when Hanover played Andran in a game that I probably thought would be a shootout, much more high scoring than it ended up. Andran winning that game 3-0. So that's surprised a lot of people in the region, at least it did me. I think that it was 3-0 at halftime also. So I never had a scoreless game at the half. As this one's picked off, and it's returnable for Velisca. And he's going to take it right back to the original line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line. Highland comes out, tries to take a little bit of a shot over the middle, and Velisca just comes in and cuts that one off.
And I think that was just miscommunication. The quarterback thought his receiver was going to run one route, and he ran another. The quarterback was expecting him to be there, and the defender was there. And so talk about field position. Hanover Central has some prime real estate right here.
Well, we were just talking at the half, if you believe in the announcer's jinx, that every possession ended with a punt or the clock. And we haven't had a turnover yet in the ball game, and we come out first play here in the second half, get an interception, and that could be exactly what changes this game around. Short field, maybe gets Hanover's offense going.
Yes, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they hand it off to their workhorse right here.
It's going to be a fake to Bikema, instead thrown out and completed for a very short gain to Bernardo. Highlands defense is up to the task as they swarm Bernardo right at the line of scrimmage, maybe called a gain of a half a yard.
Yeah, I like the fake. Going to Bikema, who had a lot of success in the first half on the ground, especially toward the end of the second quarter, and trying to get to the outside. But Highland, great job staying disciplined and preventing that.
Second down and 10. We're going to say no gain as Bikema relocates to the left of Resney. And he's going to get the inside handoff and has a nice hole off the right side for a gain of about 9 yards. And it's going to bring up third down and 1.
And so it looks like Hanover has subbed in Wyatt Twell at quarterback. And so that's a new development. That was probably one of their halftime adjustments. And so the junior is going to get his shot to put some points on the board for Hanover.
And Wyatt Twell, good call out there at quarterback. And he's going to give inside to Bikema. Bikema will fall forward for a first down. And we saw a little bit of Wyatt at the end of that game a week ago against Chittard.
And it's still early in the season, so you see a lot of coaches just trying things out because, as you alluded to earlier as well, 7 points in 2 weeks is concerning. So I'm sure he's just trying to test out everything and anything he can at this point to try to produce some of the points that they did last year. Have to take note, this game last year, 54-0.
Terrell dumps it off on the left side. Excuse me, that's going to be Bikema. On the carry, on the inside handoff, and picks up about 2 yards. Just keep moving forward.
54-0 in Hanover Central's favor. And for those who are interested in predictions, one of the reliable sources in Indiana had this game predicted at 42-14 in Hanover's favor.
Hope you took the under. Inside handoff here is busted up in the backfield, and a flag coming down Looks like Micah Hanish all over Bikema, but maybe he got a hold of the face mask. We'll wait the indication here, and it's going to be a face mask, but it's going to be 15, and it is, and that's going to be half the distance to the goal for Hanover Central. So penalties and turnovers are going against the Trojans here early on in quarter number 3.
Yes, and this crew has done a great job of keeping things organized. For the most part, keeping players safe, and that's all we can thank all of our IHSAA officials for.
So Terrell remains in the quarterback for Hanover Central. Shotgun formation. Bikema relocates to his right and takes the handoff, spinning up the middle, getting a push from behind. And did he fall into the end zone? No indication yet. Yes, he did. Touchdown, Hanover Central. That touchdown and every touchdown is brought to you by Westland and Bennett. When it's time to finish the drive, make the right call.
This is the field position that Hanover Central has wanted all game long, so they can take advantage of using their workhorse, Bikema. And they do it right there, and great job as his helmet comes off again, but he ends up in the end zone this time.
So it took 3 minutes to get in the end zone in the second half after going scoreless in the first. The extra point is up, and it is good by Logan Ziltz. And Hanover Central strikes first. Wildcat 7-0.
Searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Hello again, everybody. This is Matt Maloney of the Matt Maloney Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams of Northwest Indiana. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to market your listing to the best and widest possible audience. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit mattmaloneyrealtor.com and let's get started. It's not baloney. I'm Matt Maloney.
Back at Highland High School on the Jet TV Sports Network, high above the field in the Streck of Van Til broadcast booth. Hanover Central strikes first. Off the interception by Jake Slavin, giving Hanover the short field. And they were able to go 20 yards with a heavy dose. May have been all Bikema if I'm remembering that correctly. And he finally fights his way into the end zone, a typical Bikema run, to give Hanover Central the 7-0 lead. And, you said it might come down to whoever scores first. 7 might be all we get. It might be because Hanover got the short field, or it might spark this Wildcat offense and get them going. But first things first, can Highland respond with maybe a long drive of their own and trying to get some points here?
And this drive right here will be the true test of adversity. You give up a turnover coming out of the half, but you're still in the game, and you've made it this far. So how are you going to respond?
Slavin with the handoff to
Dale with the carry.
That's going to be number 5, Dale, who falls forward for a gain of 1. Second down and 9.
Second and 9 for the Trojans.
So it's really been running back by committee for Highland. I think they're just trying to find something. We saw Garrison, a little Tucker, of course Slavin doing it himself, and now it's Dale. Second down and 9. Wildcats bringing pressure. And Highland had the right play dialed up, but it was covered very well by the Hanover Central defense. Tackle for no gain.
Another good push by the Hanover Central defensive line, and that's been the story of the game so far. So we'll see Highland behind the sticks. A lot of grass in front of them. Let's see how they respond right here.
It's actually going to go down for a loss of 3, so 3rd down and 12 for Highland. Do they go aggressive here? They want to throw it. Slavin forced to roll out. Slavin brought down from behind for no gain, possibly a sack for Lincoln Zerby. They'll see where they mark it. Either way, it brings up 4th down and a Highland Trojan punt.
And that it will be a sack, as Highland will definitely be punting this ball away to give themselves some real estate to have on their back end as they try to slow down Hanover Central's offense.
Vinny Bonato back deep to receive the Nathan Phillips punt. He's had a pretty good night, at least in the result, if not in the actual execution of the ball in the air. And this one goes directly out of bounds. This will be the worst punt of the night for Nathan Phillips, as it's another low liner, but it was angled out of bounds instead of getting the nice Trojan roll we've had in the first half. It's going to be some more very good field position for Hanover Central, as they're going to start with the ball 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line, just a couple minutes after starting at the 20-yard line.
Yep, and on that last punt, Lincoln Zerby, number 34, he got in there, got some pressure, which may have made the punter think a couple seconds more than he should have. And so credit to him, he's helping out his offense.
Wyatt Tewell continues at quarterback for Hanover Central. Hands it to Bikema. Bikema has a big hole on the left side and picks up 7.
And we talked about it last drive. Was that first drive, was that interception a energy booster for Hanover? And so far it's looking like it. So let's see if Highland can get some more of that energy they exerted in the first half right here to slow them down.
And it's 2 straight short fields, where in the first half, Highland was doing a good job playing the field position game. Now Highland starts this drive from the 33, picks up 7, so now it's going to be 2nd down and 3. Nice pass here, dumped off to Basswell. And Basswell's going to have an Indiana University Northwest 1st down for Hanover Central, as the ball gets placed right at the 20-yard line. We'll call it the Tech Credit Union Red Zone, the better option for your financial journey. Tech Credit Union.
Not too many times either team has been in the red zone today, but Hanover Central in, let's say, 7 minutes already twice here in the second half.
Think that might be the only 2 times. I don't think anyone has reached it in the first half, as Bikema breaks a couple of tackles, now fights his way forward to the 5-yard line. And, you know, we saw his hard-earned running in the first half, and now you see what he can do when he's getting some blocking and gets out into space.
Yes, a good hard run. He's starting to look like a little bit of Caden Barrett last year, but I'll give him his own identity. Isaiah, great job.
5'7", 155-pound junior. Never goes down at first contact, is always spinning, always falling forward. T-Well shotgun relocates Bikema off his right hip. Bikema up the middle. Go to good push by the Hanover offensive line. And Bikema is going to fall down just short of the goal line. Call it the 1.
Mike on the carry.
We'll bring up second down.
Short of the goal line. Second and goal for Hanover.
So Hanover Central getting a very good push on the offensive line here in the second half. Bikema was able to pick up a few yards, 2-3 yards, even before contact. Timeout, Highland. They want to find a way to slow down this Hanover Central offense. Wildcats lead at 7-0.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
As days go by, the most important people in your life are here, now and always, to watch you grow, support you through the ups and downs, and to reach your goals. Trust People's Bank to be one of those relationships, guiding you through life's special moments. Each event with their own financial need and desire. As you move forward, we remain by your side, a reliable partner in days gone by and in the future. People's Bank. Better banking keeps moving forward.
Second down and goal from the 1-yard line for Hanover Central. Give up the middle, Bikema, and he's hit short and not able to spin his way forward this time. Good push up the middle by the Trojans defense. Looked like that was led by number 55, Jace Harris.
Brought down by Jace Harris.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation Coach Gefford had in the timeout. Highland, they came out of the timeout motivated, which is good. And so you hope that they respond again right here, but only time will tell.
Third down and goal from the 3. Trips to the far side. On the slant, in and out of the hands of Furco. That ball was put right on the money.
You talk about momentum. And, I mean, obviously Highland keeping the house inside the middle. Hanover Central looks like they're going to go with the safe points, I believe. But if Highland can get out of this situation with 3 points, that's a win. I mean, that defense should be ecstatic.
It's going to be Aldo DeCidero to attempt the 20-yard field goal for Hanover Central, and he is short. So what a goal line stand for the Highland Trojans. And taking a look during that defensive possession, Aaron McCormick was warming up. Is Highland going to try to go for that same spark? Are we going to see Highland change quarterbacks now? That's something to keep an eye on. I still see Slavin standing there having a conversation with his coach. It looks like it will be Slavin, but McCormick was getting loose. Maybe that's something he typically does, or maybe it's, hey, we may need you here in the fourth quarter, if not sooner.
I wouldn't be surprised. And so
right now McCormick is standing about the 25-yard line. He's not over near any coach. Could have been just him getting loose. Slavin will come back on the field, taking the snaps for Highland. Trojans trail at 7-0, but what a huge goal line stand, forcing the missed field goal. We'll see if Highland can answer the momentum. Another guy running the football for the Trojans. This time it's Quentin Anderson. So Highland going to continue to switch up running backs until they can find something. No, I beg your pardon. That's going to be Trenton Smith, it looks like, on that last carry. They keep switching up on me, Isaiah. I'm having a hard time figuring out who's getting the carries.
I think even Hanover Central is having a hard time trying to remember their scouting report from the week.
We get two deeps from the coaches, and now they're getting guys that were nowhere near listed on those two deeps. Slavin puts it up in the air and is going to overthrow his intended receiver, Nathan Phillips. Pretty good coverage by Corey Hazley.
Great coverage, and neither team has been able to connect on the long ball here today. So we'll see how Highland chooses to respond on this third down. It seems like the short passes has been their way to go, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some wide field action with a couple of hitches potentially.
That was Evan Marsilio on the coverage, I beg your pardon. And it's going to be a tight formation here for Highland. One receiver split high in the top of your screen. They fake the jet sweep. Slavin's got room up the middle. Slavin busted to the outside. Slavin pushed out of bounds after a big gain and an Indiana University Northwest first down. Biggest play of the game for the Trojans.
And what an exciting, electric run by Jake Slavin. We saw a lot of that from him in week one as he was there early and often for them in the Griffith game, and so we'll see if they choose to run with him. I mean, they didn't run with him a lot in that first half. It was really toward the end of the second quarter they chose to, so we'll see if that's going to be the game plan here in this third quarter.
Credit Jacob Furco with pushing Slavin out of bounds. Two receivers to the bottom of your screen. And it's going to be given up the middle, and a nice first down pickup for Trenton Smith. And maybe Highland and Coach Gefford has found an answer in the run game.
Two runs against the top side of your screen, so the left side of the Hanover Central line. I'm pretty sure Coach Gefford or Coach McCormick pointed out something in that halftime speech, and they're trying to expose it right now as we've seen back-to-back runs go to the same spot.
That's one of those key adjustments you usually come out with at halftime. You know, finding that weak spot on the defensive line where you think you can exploit. Slavin in motion, and this time he takes the inside handoff for a short gain. And I've commented on that play in the first half where kind of looked like it was maybe missed. You know, was he going to go behind the quarterback or in front? Was a little confusion, but no, that we've seen it now a few times, and that's just a design where it's at the last second at the snap, he cuts up the middle. And Slavin is going to bring up third down and about 6. And before they even snap the ball here, Isaiah, would you go for it on fourth down if they don't pick up any yards?
I definitely would. This is a 4-down territory. You just got one of the biggest stops of the game with your backs against the wall. You got to get something out of this offensive possession.
Slavin's going to throw it. It's a clean pocket. Puts up a good ball near side, battle for it, and it is going to be intercepted once again by Lucas Veliska. His second interception of the ball game. Had single coverage, and Veliska, the ball was a little short. Veliska was just able to fight his way back and win that battle with Landon Garrison.
Wow, and I think the refs are discussing it. There was obviously the defender did grab him a bit on that play. They're discussing if it was enough, and it seems like they're going to side on the original call and keep on moving forward.
Yeah, Coach Gefford definitely having a conversation. He saw the same thing you saw, but I don't know, I took a look at that replay, and it just looked like two guys battling back for the ball, and Veliska won the battle. And I think it's a great no call by this officiating crew, which has been very good this entire ball game. 31 seconds to play. This could be the final play. Little give and go here, and they got a man at the 50, 25, 20. Talk about striking. Hanover Central touchdown. What a pass to Cameron Andreevich. And talk about going for the kill after a turnover. That's what Hanover Central does.
Look at that. They'd say it all the time. Sudden change. Sudden change causes for the defensive side to keep your ears wide open and eyes wide open. And Hanover Central takes advantage right there. Great score. Obviously the longest pass of the game, and so that is one heck of a way to end this third quarter.
I believe that was a 70-yard touchdown strike for Hanover Central. The extra point by Zils is up and good, and that is another 6 on the board. When the pressure is on, call Westland and Bennett. Hanover Central leads it 14-0.
Hero Lantern Man faces off against a nefarious insurance swindler.
I'll trick them into a contract and just keep raising the rates.
Luckily, they can make a call to Crow Company's Lantern Man. He's always ready to protect families from the insurance swindler.
I can easily defeat your overpriced policies. Fair prices always prevail when you call me, the Crow Company's Lantern Man. Crow Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Popa Heating and Cooling is now here to service your area. Since 1968, we have been Northwest Indiana's trusted HVAC experts. Whether it's installing, repairing, or maintaining your heating and cooling systems, our professional and friendly service ensures you stay comfortable year-round. From furnaces and air conditioners to boilers and humidifiers, we handle it all. For tailored maintenance plans, 24/7 emergency response, and premium HVAC solutions, visit popahvac.com or call 219-838-7700.
Highland receives the punt at the 15-yard line, and Slavin spins out to about the 24, and that's where the Trojans will start. And you know, you talk about it all the time. After a turnover, after a big play, coaches love to take a shot, and that's exactly what Coach Bartolomeo dialed up there. What a pitch and catch for T-Well to Andreevich. Got the little pump, the little hitch, a little give and go, and the release wide open.
Yeah, and that was a great call by Bartolomeo and his staff right there. Highland, I mean, you look at the scoreboard, cool, but they're still competing in this game. They showed something on that last drive that they didn't show at all in the first half. So it's like, you know, we were in this situation last week with Hanover Central. It was like, you're just a couple plays away. Well, right here, you're a couple plays away. 2 plays, now you're down 2 scores, really. But we'll see how they choose to respond, to adversity as the timeout is called here by Highland.
Well, this is not a good way to respond when you come out and you have to burn your second timeout of the half with just 14 seconds to go in the quarter, when you can't even come out, get lined up correctly, just to run the ball, get to the fourth quarter. Highland has to burn, which when you're down 2 scores is going to be a much-needed timeout. So now they're going to chase 14 with just 1 remaining. But it's definitely Coach Geffert just saw the situation, whether it was he didn't want to take the penalty. I understand when things come out and they don't look right and you have to call it, but you can't have that happen coming out the first play of the drive, burning a timeout, especially this late in the quarter.
No.
So 14.6 seconds to play. This should be the last play in quarter number 3. It's going to be a give up the middle for no gain, maybe even a loss of 1. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter, where Hanover Central has got their offense going. Hanover Central leads the Trojans 14-0.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
We are about to begin quarter number 4 on the Jet TV Sports Network here from Highland. Hanover Central leads it 14-0. And Slavin is dropped in the backfield. There's a host of Wildcats back there. Jack O'Connell amongst them. As this play was busted up from the get-go as pressure came there off the left side. Looked like big number 71, Blake Belcher, was the first guy through.
And just like that, McCormick is going in at quarterback. Aaron McCormick, number 13, the son of offensive coordinator Jimmy McCormick, is now in at quarterback.
Pressure coming up the middle. Zerby in there. Zerby helps bust up the play. So Highland tries to get a spark, similar to what Hanover did at the start of the second half by switching up quarterbacks. And the Trojans go backwards on all 3 plays. And now they're going to be forced to punt as it is 4th down and about Griffith High School to go.
And really, these last couple of possessions has not told the story about how hard Highland has played in this game. I mean, the defense has shown out. The offense obviously struggled, but it's really the big turnover out of halftime. I think that's going to come back to be the play we all think about.
First returnable punt of the ball game for Bonato and the Wildcats. And the story of this second half has been the great field position for Hanover, the turnovers from Highland, and, of course, the one time when Highland turned the ball over on that last interception. Hanover didn't have great field position. You could have argued that was a 3rd down play. It was maybe as good as a punt, but Hanover answered. They felt the opportunity to strike fast. They took a shot, and they connected. And now we'll see if Hanover is going for the juggernaut here, up 14-0. Can they put the final nail in the coffin of the Highland Trojans on this drive? T-Well rolls out and overshoots his intended receiver, Bonato.
Hanover Central still looking for life in the passing game. Outside of the big shot they took, not really able to complete medium yardage passes. They've been very successful with the short yardage. Obviously, really only the one deep ball. Outside of that, it's been the run game that's helped them out a lot. But we do have to take note on the quarterback change as well that they did coming out of halftime with Wyatt Twell at quarterback, the junior.
This time inside handoff by Kama, and he spins and fights himself forward for a nice pickup to bring up a 3rd down and short. And that's just what Bikema does. He's always spinning and he's always falling forward.
Yes, he is. And so 3rd and short, Highland has to think a little bit. I mean, are they going to try to take another shot at the end zone and go for that juggernaut you mentioned, or are they going to run out the middle with the workhorse that's been doing well all game?
3rd down and 1. 2 receivers split to the top of your screen. It's Velisca near side. Bikema. He's wrapped up in the backfield, and he is going to be spun to the ground. Jaden Fulton. Chase Harris in on a tackle.
That is a lot of what we saw in the first half from that Highland defense. Obviously, with their backs against the wall in the second half so far, they haven't shown it, but they're still playing hard, which is encouraging. And so hopefully that momentum can carry over to the offense, and we'll see them try to get some points up on the board.
Tell you what, that's some pretty good forward progress right there. I thought that was going to be back a little further, but they're going to mark that as just about 1-yard loss. So it's going to be 4th down and 3. The Wildcats are going to go for it. Fakes to Bikema. Drops it out here near side. Pass is complete for a first down to Ben Baswell. Slavin in on the tackle. That's Justin Slavin, but not before. Another Indiana University Northwest first down for the Wildcats.
Wow, a great play call right there. Left side, bubble screen. Follows his block and gets some respectable yardage to put them in a situation where they're back in the Tech Federal Credit Union red zone.
First down and 10 from the 11. Hanover can get a first down without getting in the end zone. Bikema has some room, cuts back up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. 11-yard run by Isaiah Bikema, and that touchdown and every touchdown is brought to you by Westland and Bennett. When it's time to finish the drive, make the right call.
Great run. Great run. He's not going to come down with arm tackles, and we saw that right there. We've seen that a lot in the game, and he scores his second TD on the night.
Zil's extra point is up, and it is through. 8:01 to play here in the ball game. It's been all Hanover Central in the second half.
Opportunities are everywhere, even right around the corner. That's where you'll find Horizon Bank, going beyond to make a difference in our community. Whether you're starting a business or a family, expanding your kitchen or your customer base, drop by and see us for friendly service, local expertise, and solid financial advice. Horizon Bank, beyond ordinary banking. Learn more at horizonbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Powers Health is committed to advancing medical care and technology in our area. Cancer research and clinical trials so you can explore new horizons. Heart care expertise with a collaborative team of specialists so you can create more memories together. Northwest Indiana's only certified comprehensive stroke center so you can cover new ground. When it comes to advanced care, look no further. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
Back live at Highland High School, high above the field in the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strack and Van Til thing. You are watching high school football on the Jet TV Sports Network, where Hanover Central has gotten their offense going in the second half. They've taken advantage of some turnovers, some pretty good field position, and have just started to really grind this one out in the run game, as this one checks up short of the goal line, and Highland has to return it. Good recognition by Dale to pick that one up, seeing that it was not going to go into the end zone, and take what could have been a disaster and gets it out to about the 18-yard line. But, yeah, Hanover Central's had 2 interceptions by Velisca. They've had good field position in the second half. Did not score off the second possession when they had the ball on the 33-yard line. Highland got a great goal line stand. You had the missed field goal. Highland had the football back down 7-0. They were driving. They were looking good, moving the football. And then the second interception by Velisca. Hanover strikes back on the very next play. And then you've seen just a tremendous job running the football by Isaiah Bikema, who's really just continued to get better as this game has gone on.
Yes, he is. And he's like one of those running backs that, you know, they joke about guys like Derrick Henry or even like Caden Verrett. I mean, we talk regional high school football that gets stronger as the game goes on. That's how he's looking today. And so great job by him. Great job by his offensive line by waking up. I mean, in the first half, they were getting dominated by Highland, and they still are at times, but they're opening up their holes just enough to be able to allow him to make plays.
Pass is completed. I believe that's Garrison out there moving the sticks for an Indiana University Northwest first down. And, you know, at the high school level, we don't exactly know what's going on the campuses in the offseason, in the summer. You know, as I looked at this Hanover Central team coming into the year, and I watched a lot of Hanover games the last 2 years. It seems like I was on almost every one of their games. I thought the man to replace Caden Verrett this year was going to be Dylan Bowen, as a pass in and out of the hands of Slavin. And he had an opportunity if he could have got to the far sideline for a big gain, but wasn't able to squeeze it. As you'll get another good look at this one here, and he was wide open. But, yeah, I thought Dylan Bowen, the terrific two-way player for Hanover, played a little receiver last year, the outstanding defensive player, of course, the younger brother of the great Drake Bowen, now playing at Notre Dame. I thought he was going to be the running back. I didn't know until a couple days prior to preparing for the Hanover game last week that Dylan Bowen did not go out for football this year, as this one is going to be thrown away by Slavin. And I don't know if that was going to be Coach Bartolomeo's plan to put Bowen at running back or not. Maybe it was always going to be Bikema. But just losing a player of his talent, what he can, especially when you lost so much offensive talent already from graduation. And I'm by no means questioning the kid. He's a Division I baseball star. I believe he signed with Oklahoma State, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, probably has a lot of pressure to, you know, focus on that, and I get it. But doesn't mean Coach Bartolomeo has to be happy with it when you lose a kid with that much talent.
Yeah, and
because this one's intercepted by guess who, Velisca, and he is tackled by his teammate, and that's the only thing I believe that kept Velisca from entering the end zone. 3 interceptions for Lucas Velisca.
Wow, check his gloves to make sure they don't have magnets in them. I think he's like attracted to the ball in the second half. But
yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing, just to wrap that up, I was really looking forward to see Dylan Bowen on the football field again. That kid has been so fun to watch since his freshman year. But again, when you're that good at baseball, you're going D1. I haven't checked to see his potential of being drafted. You know, there's always that with, you know, potentially millions of dollars on the line. You know, I get why these kids have to make business decisions sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. And, you know, obviously in the era of specialization versus non-specialization, I'm in favor of kids playing multiple sports. But in his situation, obviously Bartolomeo, when you have somebody in the family tree like Drake Bowen, who's a captain at Notre Dame and stuff like that, like you want that guy to realize, hey, your blood is built for this. But on the other side of things, Bowen, wow, he's turning the corner. He has some wheels.
A reverse for Bonato, and Bonato goes untouched till about the 11-yard line. As now we're going to have some pushing and shoving as Bonato exchanged a few words, and now things are going to get a little ugly down there. And let's just hope the coaches can get there and separate everyone in time. That was one heck of a collision there, knocking Bonato out of bounds. And then things get a little ugly. And this was a hard-fought game. We hate to see it come down to this in this situation. And I've been there before as an official when these things happen, and now you got to start looking. You got to start getting together. Did anyone throw a punch? Does anyone deserve to be kicked out of the game? And if they do, they lose next week as well.
And so we had a pretty good look at that. It looked like it started with the Bonato taunt. After he made the great run, he looks down at the Highland defender.
I'm trying to see what number that was.
He makes a great turn, gets up the field, and then one of the Highland DBs, number 5, he stands over him.
So that's Mark Dale who knocked Bonato out of bounds.
Yep, and so after that, it just kind of escalated. But that's one of those things where there weren't – we're glad that it ended that way. But back to the Bowen situation, you know, Dylan Bowen, he is going to do great things. But also from his side of things, your brother, who was also a two-sport guy and was basically told at Notre Dame, hey, you got a pretty good future on this football team. I mean, how many region guys get to a national championship and become a team captain of a top 25 team. He does that, and so maybe his brother and his parents are like, hey, why don't you try baseball?
Right.
I didn't get to try baseball. Why don't you try it? And so it'll be interesting. I mean, it's pretty unique. Obviously, not too many families from the region. The first that comes to mind is the Robinson family have athletes that are successful in multiple sports. And so they could do something that could go down in history.
As the officials are having a conversation here, and, what you're taught in these situations. Actually, what I was taught in those situations as an official is you don't try to break it up. You stand back, observe, and start writing down numbers as you see things.
I'm sure if both of the officials or all of the officials were there, I think they were catching up to the play because we haven't had too many big plays today. And so they were catching up, trying to get the ball back and turn their back for a split second. And that's when the taunt happened. And so I'm sure nobody caught that part, because if obviously somebody did, somebody would have thrown a flag, and then we wouldn't have gotten to that point, which the refs have obviously done a great job keeping everything in control today. But unfortunately, things like that happen. I mean, it's hard. It's a lot of stuff going on down there on the field that you don't even realize. You're trying to keep the players safe in the field. You're trying to you don't hear every bit of trash talking, every little shoulder bump and all that stuff. And so fortunately they caught it when it did, and nothing really escalated more after that.
We're going to step aside and take a quick break as they finish this one up. We'll try to tell you all about all the penalties and any ejections when we return to Highland. Hanover leads at 21-0.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at schneiderjobs.com.
Back at Highland High School in the Strachan Van Til broadcast booth, and we had, it looked like, offsetting personal fouls against Hanover and Highland, and then there was another personal foul against Hanover Central. There appeared to be two ejections, both from Hanover Central.
That player is disqualified, and another personal foul for Hanover. That player.
We do not have the numbers, but by the indication of the officials, there are two ejections, both of Hanover Central. And you take a look at the schedule for Hanover Central next week, Isaiah. I think you have that over by you.
Yeah.
Those players, and again, we don't know who they are yet. I'm guessing Bernardo might be one, but I don't want to speculate just because we know he was initially involved in that. Hanover Central plays Lowell next week, and they're going to be without two guys. If the information that was indicated to us, and I'm not sure if we had it right when we came back as the official was going through his mechanics, it looked like two players on Hanover Central were rejected. Bernardo is not one of them. He is out there in the slot right now. So after all that, it's the extra guys who come in and they end up getting. But Bernardo, who was initially involved with the great run, gets to stay in the ball game. So that's glad to see.
I wonder if Boukma is one of them, as the running back is new. We have number 33 in the game, who is
Dominic Giglio.
Yeah,
yes,
Dominic
into the ball
Giglio.
Now, Is this situation now where they're just starting the sub guys out? I don't think so. No one else, no other starter appears to have left the field, since obviously the quarterback change. That's not for this reason. So that's a good point. That's a good catch. Hanover without their starting running back against Lowell next week could pose, obviously, a huge problem, especially when you see what Lowell did to Griffith here tonight.
And they definitely have some new players on the field. As Bartolomeo calls this timeout to try to get people on the same page with 5:29 left in the game.
Timeout, Hanover.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Get ready, Region. It's time to Wing and Roll 2025. Friday, September 5th at Bulldog Park in Crown Point. Mental Health America of Northwest Indiana brings you the biggest, boldest fundraiser of the year. Taste wings from the region's best chefs. Jam to live music from Backstory NWI. Play games. Win
Pass into the end zone goes incomplete as Hanover takes a shot coming out of the timeout. As you get a look at the replay there and looking for Bonato in double coverage. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for Hanover.
And we talked about it earlier in the game. This is a Highland program that has not necessarily been as bad as their record has shown. They've just played good teams the last 10, 15 years. And so they are fighting, and this score is not as wow.
You know what? I think we had this last week. We've seen officials get knocked into before. I've never seen an official actually reach his arms out and bring a guy to the ground. And that's exactly what that umpire did there. That tackle was 100% made by...
I got to give my former math teacher at Hanover Middle School.
Is that big Chris Wells?
Yes, that's Chris Wells. His moment of fame right there.
I love it.
I know he was waiting for that moment to grab a guy down and throw him to the ground. It's like a lot of us adults, we don't get to do that nowadays without getting in trouble for it. But
I love Chris.
All jokes.
Chris taught down the hall for me at Hobart for many years as this one goes into the end zone. Touchdown pass for completion to Furco. And Hanover Central gets on the board once again with another Westland and Bennett touchdown. It's T-Well to Furco. On the little hitch, he's able to spin and walk down the sideline into the end zone. But, what really was happening is Wells was losing his footing, the umpire, and he just was reaching out, trying to gain balance, and ends up bringing the man to the ground. But it sure looked like he just was completely in on that tackle.
I hope Mr. Wells uses that Facebook highlight this week and tags us in the post.
28-0 Hanover.
Domino's, you can pick 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Let's see how that compares to some other options that are about $6.99. $6.99? $6.99. $6.99? $6.99. Yeah. Order any 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Only at Domino's.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
$28-0 Hanover Central. It's been all Wildcats here in the second half after a scoreless first half. And they've taken advantage of 3 Highland turnovers, all interceptions, and all made by Lucas Valiska. But then Hanover's gotten their offense going. They've taken advantage of short fields. They were able to strike coming out of turnovers on the big 70-yard touchdown catch, as this play is going to be blown dead. It looks like Mark Dale touched his knee touchdown at the 7-yard line, and that's where they're going to spot it. So it'll be first down, Highland, 4:31 to play here in the fourth quarter. They trail it 28-0.
And this score really does not tell the story. I mean, it obviously, yes, Hanover Central, they earned this win. But you take away, and I'm not even going to take away those interceptions. Those were great interceptions by Lucas Beliska. But Highland, their defense has played phenomenal today.
Right.
And we definitely have to give them credit for their performance today. I mean, 28 points, that they've done a great job. And so hopefully the offense can put something together here.
So give up the middle for a nice gain. Austin Tucker, first down pickup of about 4. Yeah, you're going to look at the score, and Highland's defense isn't going to get enough credit for what they did, especially in the first half. And, even in the second half, as we said, that trailing 7-0, Hanover had the ball on the 33-yard line coming out of the second interception, and Highland got that nice goal line stand. And Highland's offense was driving the very next possession before that interception. They don't throw that interception, perhaps they go in and score, and we got a completely different ball game right now.
100%. But definitely great adjustments. Both teams offensively have been moving the ball a little bit better than they were in the first half. But it'll be interesting, as we mentioned before the last break, Hanover Central faces Lowell next week, a hot Lowell team that dominated a DAC LaPorte team, and it looks like they're handling Griffith pretty well tonight, right up the road. And so that's going to be a game that Hanover Central is definitely going to have to clean a lot of things up, because now they're getting in the grit of their schedule. A KV team that's been competing within Dran, and then skip all the way to October 3rd. That game is circled on a lot of people's calendar. Hobart versus Hanover Central is last year. Hanover Central won a close one against Hobart. And so Hobart, they'll definitely be coming for some blood.
First down and 10. That's an Indiana University Northwest first down as McCormick is looking deep. And, we've seen that a few times. Highland trying to go deep today, just have not been able to connect on that deep ball. And, as we talked at the half, is one of these teams going to be able to connect, as both of them came up short in the first half. And Hanover struck big on the big 70-yard touchdown pass to Andreevich, coming off of that second turnover by the Trojans, and that put Hanover up 14-0.
Yeah.
It'll be Hanover Central and Lowell next week. Lowell has not defeated Hanover Central since they came over into the Northwest Crossroads Conference 3 seasons ago. So, a lot of teams are looking at Hanover this year maybe as the opportunity to get them, because Hanover has been so good the last few years. Lowell coming off of a big win over Griffith tonight, definitely is going to have their sights set on getting some revenge on Hanover Central next week.
Yes, and Coach McKim, he is familiar with Hanover Central. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they met in last year's sectionals, with New Prairie taking that one. So that's going to be something, a storyline to keep their eye on. I mean, this is the new and revived Lowell, as we talked about before the show. So this is a different type of Lowell team. Kilmer, he did a great job taking them past the Kennedy days and doing what he could do. But there's new life in this Lowell program. They got guys out for the program, and so Hanover Central is going to have their hands full. They're going to definitely have to play a complete game, as this will put them in a position to defend their championship.
Highland is going to play a rare Week 4 non-conference game, as they will take on Calumet down the street here before entering back into conference play. Did that ball catch Mark Dale? No Hanover player. Well, it's going to be touched dead by Dale at the 45-yard line. I beg your pardon. It was Highland who punted the football, so it'll be Hanover's possession at the spot of first touch. Well, yeah, Highland will play Calumet next week, non-conference action before taking on Lowell at the Inferno in 2 weeks on September 19th. Highland will be back at home next week against Calumet.
That's the Calumet program that's doing well also. So Highland, they'll have to take some of that defensive momentum and stop the Portage transfer at running back over there for Calumet. He's doing well, getting some Division I offers, so that'll be a test for them as well. But back to Hanover Central and Lowell, Corey McKim, who's the head coach at Lowell, he ended Hanover Central's season and prevented them from getting their first ever sectional title in school history by defeating them while he was at New Prairie by the score of 35-23 last year. So that's definitely going to create some energy in the room for sure over there.
Both teams highly motivated in that one. Hanover will look to improve to 2-0 in conference play. Lowell will be playing their first conference matchup next week. As this week they had a non-conference game against Griffith. Terwell takes his second knee. And that will be the final snap here tonight from Highland High School. As we're about to wrap this one up from the Streck Van Til broadcast booth, the clock is ticking down to 0. And Hanover Central, who scored all 28 of their points in the second half, will come away with a 28-0 victory as we will wrap this one up, and soon we'll give you the Crowell Companies Insurance Professionals Lantern Man Player of the Game. But I know, Isaiah, you talked about Highland. People are going to look at the score and maybe think they didn't compete, but Highland really battled in this game, and obviously defensively in the first half, but they looked a lot better in the second half than the score will give them credit for as well.
They did, and Highland defense, they are in mid-season form. And if they could figure a couple things out on offense, maybe get some more outside runs or connect on some of those jet sweeps, then we could be having a much different conversation as they continue to try to find their identity under new head coach Bing Gefford. So I believe in them. I mean, I think they'll be competitive. The NCC is not an easy conference to play in, so they'll be battling with some historical programs, but they have their chances, and this was a good test to see where they are early in the season.
There was some competition out there, but when you talk about a defensive battle, a shutout, and 3 big interceptions that really made the difference in this ball game, I think tonight's Lantern Man Player of the Game is going to be the junior Lucas Valiska. Lucas had 3 interceptions, all in the second half. One gave his team the ball at the 20, which led to the first score of the ball game. The second one gave Hanover the ball at the 33. The third, I think he walks into the end zone if he doesn't get tackled by his own teammate. Tonight's Crowell Companies Insurance Professionals Lantern Man Player of the Game is going to be Lucas Valiska.
Yes, and the 5'9" junior, he did his best effort. I mean, we joked about it. I mean, 3 interceptions in the second half. I would have loved to be in the fly on the wall of the halftime speech by the defensive coordinator or Tony Bartolomeo, but nevertheless, he did a great job. Helps them get the shutout, helps Coach Bartolomeo get his first win as a Hanover Central head coach. Right. And, and they get to keep on moving forward, undefeated in the NCC. I'm pretty sure that's a streak for them.
Congratulations to Coach Bartolomeo. Appreciate you bringing that up, and his first win as a head coach at Hanover Central. Next week, Hanover Central heads to the Inferno. Always a difficult place to play, albeit the new look Inferno, as Lowell will open up NCC play. Highland will once again be at home as they'll play host to the Calumet Warriors. Special thanks to everyone here at Highland High School, our production team, all the athletic director, Ryan Harrington, taking care of us, doing a great job up here in the press box, as always, feeding us as they always do. For my partner, Isaiah Gransberry, I'm Tim Fedler. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast here from Highland High School. Good night, everybody.